Taking Liberties or just Playing Liberty by Steve Vai. You know it's the latter. So, update on the DH Gate guitar that I bought. For those of you that have not seen the other videos, where were you? Oh my goodness. So, I wanted to say, so I bought the guitar. DH Gate is basically the window to the world in terms of the facsimile things. Let's say facsimiles, not forgeries. It's the world's biggest marketplace. They do various things. And Steve Vai, big hero of mine since the 80s. This particular guitar, bum 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 bum, is a facsimile of Steve Vai's, let's say 87, 88 guitar, his own signature guitar, an Ibanez Gem FP1. FP1, floral pattern 1. Floral pattern, this on the originals was made in cloth. The cloth was actually the exact replica of curtains in his parents' house. Back as well. Bum, 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 bum. So, the guitar was made for a number of years in the 80s and 90s, and then a few times in the early noughties. But it stopped production, this particular model with this particular thing. And recently, over the last year or so, I've seen prices for these kind of guitars going for £4,500, £5,000. So we've been going through lockdown, haven't we? We've been going through all the crazy coronavirus, and I thought about doing a little bit of a tribute to the coronavirus kind of thing, and to the lockdown years. So I hatched the plan. Since I couldn't afford £4,500 for a new guitar, I'm only a lonely NHS worker after all. The next big thing, I was led down the path of DH Gate. DH Gate do facsimiles, like I said. So, doing a bit of research on these things, generally people say the body, the shape, and the finish, the colours and everything are great. The necks themselves, what you play, the fretboard and everything, that's great. The innards, not so great. Yes, I can kind of like say that. I've got a Gem Junior and the parts are not as good. The pickup's not as good. This is going through a Line 6 Flexstone 3 into a Tube Screamer. So gets a pretty good sound with delay and reverb as well. In any case, so with that in mind, the idea was to buy the guitar. The guitar itself, including postage and packing, which took about 3 months to come over from China to here, was £254. So, as you can imagine, that's quite a huge difference to £4,500. So my idea was to spend a little bit of money buying a variety of items, which I've got in this box. Tuners we have, which are the things on the ends of the guitars to hold the strings in. We have volume and tone knobs. We have set of strings, Diodario 9 to 42s. Sorry. We have selector switches. We have volume and tone knobs. We have Damasio HS2 stacked single coil. We have Damasio PAF Pro in pink as well, I'll have you know, and the all important Floyd Rose Tremolo, all in kind of like nickel black, not nickelback. So that was basically it. So the breakdown of the prices from the places, got them from Germany amongst other places. Oh, let's see what the guitar cost: £254, the Floyd Rose cost £84, the tuners cost £79, the pickup covers, because I had to get the special ones for the single coils, they were £13.99, the volume tone knobs £3.84, the single coil pickups £74, the PF Pro humbucker £70. Another one to come from my dear friend Brenda Blood. She doesn't know that yet, but there you go. And then volume and tone pots £7.99 each. 5-way switch £14.99. That all comes to just over £680. So, what did I learn? Not had them all put together, which I'm aiming to do with a Luther, Lex Luthor, or Luther the crime fighting person. But what have I learned is wonderful having a project like this to celebrate COVID. Maybe do it way after COVID, because finding and sourcing the parts has been a bit of a nightmare. So we got the guitar in May, and since May up until last month I've been collating the parts, and they've been coming, like I said, from America in some cases. Stumac with the wonderful Stumac came really quickly with the tremolo system. Various parts from eBay, the single coil that had to come from Germany, which took a few weeks. There was a few down a rabbit hole things with the humbuckers. They don't do PAF Pros in the UK like that. They pink. In the real guitar, Steve Vai's, they're pink pickups. So I wanted it as near as damn it, but with its own little twerk kind of thing. So postage and packing has cost a lot of money, let's say, but hopefully it's going to be a good investment. The guitar itself, every guitarist kind of like calls their guitars names. This one, no exception. It's going to be called Mel B, because of the Spice Girls and because it's a wannabe, basically. It's a wannabe Ibanez, cruelly called a Chibanez by those kind of people. But once it's got the parts on, it's going to be hopefully really good. Different wood on these than the originals. I think the originals were basswood. These, I believe, were made in mahogany. But so, going to be changing these. Going to take one of these off. This tremolo system is absolutely useless. And these tuners, tuners. But it looks good, and it reminds me of the 80s. And I'm a child of the 70s and 80s, so there you go. So I thought I'd give you a little update before the end of the year. So hopefully we'll get the other pickup very soon, by the time I've got more funds, of course, and then in the new year we'll have it all put together and we'll make another annoying video, okay? Thanks for watching. Shout out to Brenda. Ciao.